things that we don't notice as violations of the rule. But I think the code is important to highlight all that so that we can go through it and understand and comport ourselves more so that, we can represent the people the best they want. Honorable Speaker, we thank you and then also the clerk for bringing the code of conduct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Old Yundum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and once again, Eid Mubarak to each and everyone in this humble assembly. Honorable Speaker, I am indeed honored as one of the members of the Standing Committee on Privileges and Ethics of the Parliament to come up with such a progressive document. But before going further, I just want to put this to Parliament. We must understand that there is a saying that if you lose your money, you lose nothing, absolutely nothing, because you can work again and get back the money and even get more. If you lose your health, you lose something. But if you lose your integrity, you lose everything. So I believe this is indeed a very timely document that is being brought to Parliament. And I will also, before going further, want to seize the opportunity to commend the committee, the Office of the Clerk, the CPA, that is the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, and also the International IDEA for giving us the opportunity to review and also to go clause by clause to understand, to have a better understanding of what exactly do we want to do. But Honorable Speaker, like you said, we don't have time, but I would just want, with your permission, to bring this to the attention of the Parliament. And I will refer you to page 2 of the report. And the last paragraph that has to say with, that has to do with the, it is believed that this code of conduct, once approved, shall serve as an institutional measure and check on members of the National Assembly on their individual fundamental responsibility for effective functioning and integrity of the institution of Parliament by holding the ideals of democratic governance and separation of powers and the rule of law. As well as demonstrating high standard of integrity and ethical behavior, including workplace behavior, consistent with our important public interest roles, which is indeed very important. As individuals, we must understand that we are in Parliament to represent the people out there. So like I said in the beginning, our integrity cannot be compromised. And this is indeed a very good document that will guide us to be more functional in whatever responsibility we have in Parliament. So in that regards, I will want to urge and also implore all honorable members to support the document and let it pass for our own use. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul South, Banjul North. Honorable members, I now invite the Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I'll be very brief because, like my deputy alluded, everybody here is in support of the Code of Conduct. It's just a parliamentary custom and tradition just to give blessing. However, we owe it to ourselves as members of Parliament to reiterate and also show appreciation and gratitude from the very office of the Speaker and also the Clerk, and as well as our partners. We owe them a big thank you. That is the International IDEA and CPA for coming up with this brilliant initiative to help our committee, because I belong to the Committee of Ethics and Privilege Committee, to come up with this. Honorable Speaker, you can bear with me. There's a popular saying that whom much is given, much is expected. We as parliamentarians, we are given much power to decide on fate of people we represent. Any decision we take here reflects on every lives as far as lawmaking is concerned in this country. So I think that power also given to us need not to be abused. And we have to also live to expectations as honorable members of parliament. So I want to also congratulate and salute the entire membership here that we are about to make history in the making for the 6th legislature, for the first of its kind since independence, having such initiative that we want to make sure that to assess ourselves, hold ourselves accountable to our electorates, the very people that really vote us in here. I think that is a laudable initiative, and everybody should be commended for that. Honorable Speaker, this does not only help us accountable to our electorate, but also save taxpayers' money. We are sent here to make sure that we give service to duty, service to nation. We've sworn in here that we are going to execute our functions as National Assembly members, irrespective of whatever circumstances. So it's important that we have this in place to really help us in fulfilling the oath we have taken here. And more importantly, this is a political institution, come from different political divide. So it's helped us to make sure that we live here in peaceful coexistence, mutual respect to each other, and know that we are all having equal powers. We can have force among equals, but what is important, the power given to you to come here, the same power I also have to come here. So you must respect each other. We must live peace and harmoniously, and also live as honorable members of parliament. Honorable Speaker, this lastly will also announce us to committing ourselves to service. We are thankful to taxpayers providing every opportunity for us, moving us to and fro, and today we are going to give them reassuring statement that our business of assembly would not be taken for granted. And this is a renewed hope for us to make sure that we live up to expectation. And as alluded by Banjul North, integrity is something that you cannot afford to lose. This in itself helps us to make sure that to really engrave, to make sure that consolidate the integrity and trust and confidence they have on us to represent them here. So on that note, I want to add my voice to previous speakers to lay my support behind this bill, but actually to really reiterate thanks and gratitude to IDEA, International IDEA, and CPA in general. Thank you so much for indulgence.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader. I now invite the Honorable Member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues to thank the Office of the Clerk and the very office and lot of the Privilege and Ethics Committee for coming up with this important bill. Honorable Speaker, it's normal that when a human being is given an authority or power, and that power or authority is unchecked, the degree of abusing that power or authority cannot be controlled. So bringing this bill to serve as a check to honorable members is really important, and it makes our work very easy as the chief whip of my party to make sure that all my members are in chambers are on time as well. So on that note, and with this few remarks, I thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Opanyumi. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu West. You withdraw. Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also join my colleagues to thank members and also the committee that's responsible for this code of conduct. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I think it's welcoming and then it's timely. But my only concern here is let it not be as it used to be. We come here and pass bills or pass, acts, at the end of the day, it will be there gathering dust. This is ours. It is meant for us, so it needs to regulate us as members. As they always say, there is nobody above the law. Let's do the needful, and we do it at the right time. When it comes to this section of lateness, I think I'm a bit concerned here when it comes to lateness. Yes, they're saying 30 minutes after session. It's important. But there is a stipulated time for session to start as 10 o'clock. How do you know that? Are we going to only peg it as the time of session, or we are going to peg it at the time of, at the time given for session to start? Because members do come here before time. You are here at 9:30, 9 o'clock, you are here, you are sitting 11 o'clock before we start session. So let's look at it properly. Are we going to maintain the 10 o'clock that we always mention as time to start session, and then take it up from there, or are we going to wait when session starts, we start applying lateness? That's very key for us to understand here. When it comes to lateness, we have to look at the lateness issue, which is also very important, Chair. Because we cannot say 10 o'clock when Honorable Jawara will be here since 9:30 waiting for time to start session. A lot of things to do, but you'll be here before time, and then before we start, it's always 11 o'clock, when we are waiting for others to come and attend. Honorable Speaker, it is good that we apply the law, but I'm also applying to my colleagues, those who are to monitor or to regulate us. Let's do the needful, and we treat each other fairly. Let there be nothing like political issue on this. When I am wrong, I am wrong. When I am right, I am right. When you're supposed to give the person this due, give the person this due at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Joshua. I now invite the Honorable nominated member Fatou K. Jawara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I must commend the Vice Chair of the Ethics and Privilege Committee for tabling this important document. Honorable Speaker, this is a wake-up call for National Assembly members, because going through the document where serious allegations were laid against members of parliament, and we all want to be proud men and women after our tenure as National Assembly members. So this is a very serious allegation, and I think to erase this allegation, it's very important for us to have this code of conduct. Honorable Speaker, representation is not just about your presence in the parliament, but your behavior towards your electorates, people within your surrounding, and even your own colleagues is very important. I think something also needs to be captured here between a member and a member. In order for anybody to respect this institution, it must start from us as members of parliament. If we respect this institution and respect each other as colleagues, everybody will respect the institution. Honorable Speaker, going further, we should all understand that majority of Gambians who are more noble and honorable than us subdue their responsibility and power to us for us to represent them in the voice of in this Bantaba, where the voice of the voiceless are re-echoed. So we have a very heavy text ahead of us, even even not in this art alone. We have a very text ahead of us. We will be judged by our behavior towards our colleagues, the way and manner we behave, how we conduct the business of the assembly, because we are paid. So you cannot be paid and taking a haram while you are not performing at work. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable nominated member Fatou K. Jawara. I now invite the Honorable member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, what is before us today is to approve the Code of Conduct for the National Assembly members of the Gambia. And I'm definitely in support of that, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank CPA for their technical support that they have been giving to the National Assembly of the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, we should make our house in order before we make any other people's house. There should be a regulation that is going to control the movement of the National Assembly members both inside and outside. Honorable Speaker, people can do things outside, they will not be monitored. But for us as people's representatives, any slight mistake you do outside or inside, you know that people are watching at you. And they build mountains over that. So this is going to help us. It is for us, it is going to help us so that we know what time we should come in and what times we should go out. And we should think that at the back of our mind that, yes, there is something. If I do this, this is what will happen to me. So you'll see that you will walk as expected of you. But if there is nothing there, Honorable Speaker, what will happen is that everybody will do what is expected of him. So thank you very much, CPA, for the technical support that you have given to us. Now this is going to be a working tool. It is going to help us, and we will do our work effectively. Thank you very much for the floor, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sami. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We commend the Ethics Committee and our partners for bringing this motion. It is indeed timely, like other speakers stated. Any society without rules or regulation trying to regulate the members' actions, their reactions and inactions is a jungle state. And I can't believe that this parliament for the past 50 years or so doesn't have a code of conduct to regulate its members. And we must commend members that past and the present before the coming of this conduct for their cordially coexistence and their conduct, by reflecting their personal conduct, regretting their personal conduct towards each other. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, we understand the frustration of the committee, Ethics Committee, especially people like us who, in one way or the other, are victims of this misconduct. You will also appreciate the fact that you, as a victim of this misconduct, also trying to safeguard the integrity of the assembly, also face some frustrations. So in light of the documents before us, I think that will be a history, because now we will be having a document in our hand that will be able to regulate the behaviors of members within this assembly. Members' conduct towards members' conduct even outside this assembly, and members' conduct towards the assembly itself. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I totally in agreement with this code of conduct, and I give my blessing of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Busumbala constituency. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Let me use this opportunity to thank the Office of the Clerk and your office, and the Ethics and Privilege Committee for coming up with this document. This is a very important document in front of us, like to say we are chosen to represent our people. And it is an opportunity given to us, then we should represent them very well, inside the parliament and outside the parliament. Honorable Speaker, sometimes you come to the parliament when we call some people here, they sat for 2-3 hours before we are here, which is not done. You left a job to apply for a job of a parliamentarian. And where you are working, you used to report on time. So you come here, you don't come to work early, it's embarrassing. Honorable Speaker, I've gone over the document and then I just want to have some discussion on the one clause called the disruption clause. If you allow me to read, a member shall not disrupt the proceeding of the National Assembly, including through abusive or offensive language, speaking without permission, interrupting proceedings by persistently and willfully obstructing the business of the Assembly. Honorable Speaker, sometimes we have scenarios in this Parliament, sometimes, for me, it pains me. We have little issue to deal with. Sometimes we take 4 or 5 hours because we don't want to listen to each other. So I believe, as Honorable Sir said, this document is here. If we approve it, let's do the needful. In any organization or in anywhere you go, you have a leader. The leader is chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But sometimes, I'm not talking about Fabakary alone, but a leader should be respected in anywhere. Sometimes people argue with the speaker. They argue with the speaker unnecessarily that we cannot move. Whatever it is procedure, but check your standing order. Check your standing order. The speaker's ruling is final. But sometimes we argue unnecessarily. I know what I'm saying. We are here. I've been here for almost 2 years now. Whatever, but then sometimes respect the elder's decision or the chair. No, I know. They are fond of it. Those who are arguing, they are fond of it. But this thing will control them. We need to work. When we are here, simple thing, we drag it unnecessarily. Let's act as honorable members. The issue of not coming to work, lateness, we should avoid all this. We represent our people. Let's come to Parliament, voice out what they expect from us. Honorable Speaker, this is my contribution. Thank you, and I support the document. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sani Mentreng.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I'll have to join my colleagues, as alluded by the Honorable Member of Banjul North, by thanking various institutions, of course, not forgetting the National Assembly, Office of the Clerk of this noble house, by thanking them for their time and, of course, their technical support given to us to bring this code of conduct as to guide us of our duties. Honorable Speaker, this is timely document as code of conduct for members of this National Assembly as guidance. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I think this will help us huge as representatives for the fact that not only members in respecting themselves, not only guiding us for coming to the National Assembly timely, on time, and then of course to be present as well, but also it will also help us in our members or the electorates outside understanding the duties of the National Assembly as well, which is a challenge for National Assembly members in most or various constituencies. I am not saying our electorates do not understand the work of National Assembly. Of course they do. But there are some still who need to be counseled. There are some still who need to understand the work of the National Assembly and something that guide us in preventing or attending some of the duties or some of the things that they want us to be doing in our various constituencies. Honorable Speaker, I think this is also timely that it will also help us because as members, I think we all understand the duties of the National, or the work of the National Assembly as well. But one cannot know everything. I don't know everything. Honorable member for Lower Badibul may not know everything or the whole thing. But then it will also guide us, it will also help us to understand better the duties of the National Assembly or the work of the National Assembly as well. When you're late, this is what you should do, or these are the challenges, or these are the charges attached to it. When you're absent, these are the charges attached to it. And this, of course, as a member of SANI Mentoring, I think on a short note, this will also help us in guiding or helping me to represent my people in this August Assembly as a representative or as the voice of women and youths of the Gambia. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wouldn't have much to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Sani Mentoring. I now invite the Honorable Member for Upper Fuladu West.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I think I'm just going to throw a few words, hence most of my colleagues, they have spoken, and then this code of conduct is very, very timely. I think first of all, we have to thank the Office of the Clerk for the good work that they have done. They have been doing good work, but I think this is one of the best work that they have ever done as far as this Parliament is concerned. And also to thank the Privileges and Ethics Committee. We also thank them and our partners also, that is International IDEA, and also thanking CPA for giving the technical support as far as this code of conduct is concerned. This code of conduct, I think it would serve as a springboard or a catalyst to guide members, because any institution that you go, there is a legal framework in place that will guide workers. So the National Assembly of the Gambia cannot be exceptional. So coming up with this code of conduct, I think it is very, very timely. And then this will send a signal to all members that this is what will happen to you if you do this, and then this is what will happen to you if you do that. So I think this code of conduct is timely. What I will advise my colleague National Assembly members, as the saying goes, I urge each and every member to go and read this code of conduct so that we can be au fait with the code of conduct, because an ignorant of the law is not an excuse. So as far as I am concerned, I even want this code of conduct, the implementation to start even tomorrow, because some members will come to Parliament, let's say by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and then we're supposed to start proceedings by 10 a.m., and then sessions will start 11 a.m., just like today what have happened. We were in Parliament around 8:45, but sessions started 11 a.m. So I think this code of conduct will try to arrest, those situations. So I thank the Office of the Clerk so much for coming up this code of conduct. And I think this will go down in your legacy, that this is a good work that you have done, and also the Privilege and Ethics Committee We thank the chairman and his lieutenants for doing a good work as far as this code of conduct is concerned. So, on that note, I thank you all, honorable members, and also our partners. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, honorable member for Upper Fladu West. I now call on the honorable member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I'll be very brief because I'm a member of the committee, and this code of conduct, the idea and behind whatever that entails in it comes from the committee. So we are definitely very happy hearing from the various members their contributions and then comments towards the acceptance and, of course, adoption of this very code of conduct. The Privilege and Ethics Committee, as many will say, it is the committee that members will say it is dormant, they are not doing anything, or so and so. So that's why we look internally through support from the Office of the Clerk and, of course, from our partners, the CPA UK, and, of course, the others. And we came up with this, and we've done series of consultation even before coming up with the final draft that members themselves validated. So it is a good thing to regulate ourselves. I think this is something which it will not even be leveled with, and because this comes from us, it is for us, and it will be implemented by us too. So everything here is internal and is progressive. So this is just a tool to make sure that we maintain and in fact protect the integrity and preserve the dignity of members, both within and outside the parliament, because we are facing a lot of challenges, even some social challenges here and there. So it is a good thing that we come up with this document. But again, on the implementation part, I know the Privilege and Ethics Committee, through the Office of the Speaker and, of course, from support from the admin, I know we will need a lot of things that to put in place, and I think the chairman will definitely say more on that, because Honorable Speaker, you can bear with me, to regulate members is not easy. Even in chambers here, sometimes it's difficult. So the Privilege and Ethics Committee will definitely need to be capacitized and so on. So on that note, I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, honorable member for Nyanija. I now invite the honorable member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues to thank International IDEA and CPA for helping us to have the opportunity to go through the code of conduct. I just have a few observations as far as the motion is concerned, because hence we are here to approve the code of conduct for National Assembly members of the Gambia, and as alluded to by the mover of the motion, that he is happy that the report, the draft code of conduct, was earlier this month reviewed and validated on a clause-by-clause consideration by all honorable members at a workshop organized by the Office of the Clerk in partnership with International IDEA and partners. I think that was done, and it was the right way, but I would have loved that before we approve this, at least a new version of the printed code of conduct be brought before us, so that we can see whether all those inputs that we have reviewed are captured in the draft code of conduct. We've looked at it with them. It was a very nice session, and we looked at it, clause by clause, but whether our inputs are captured is my concern here. At least we should have been served with the printed version, with the edited version, so that members will have the opportunity to look at it and see that, yes, all what we have observed, all what we have, all our observations have been captured in this draft. But just to bring it like this.
Honorable Member for Sabak Sajja.
Yes.
Are you telling me you don't have a copy of the Code of Conduct?
No, I'm not saying that. I had a copy, but then we had a 2 days training with International IDEA organized by the Office of the Clerk, where we reviewed according to the mover of the motion. He said, Honorable Speaker, I am happy to report that the draft Code of Conduct was...
You read that. You read that. We
but
had it.
The one that we have looked at least should have been printed and served before us so that we can look at it and see whether our inputs are captured in that one. That is what I'm saying here. That was not done.
Yeah, no. All your contributions or your inputs, now you have a copy. A copy is given to you. For you to know whether that is whether it has been reflected or not, take your notes and make comparisons to see with those suggestions whether they are captured or not. Even if they had printed another one and it's the same old one they print for you. So you take the notes you've taken, you compare it to what you have in this document to see if the agreed changes have been made.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, if you could add from the Honorable Member for Upper Salem, he also did mention that some of his observations were not captured when he was debating. Myself, there were things that I observed, but I can see that they are not also captured. So this is the reason why I am saying at least we should have had a clean copy of the printed version before coming today to approve this, before the mover of the motion would have come up with this thing.
Do with the contents of it that members have highlighted and is not there, that one should be raised. The Honorable Member for Lower Salem was talking about things that could be added. Those are the basic fundamentals. That is he talked about the table of content and the summary and all these things. That what can just be attached. That doesn't make any difference. The content cannot change. It will just be informed by the document itself. We noted that. But if there are issues that have been raised and agreed and are different from what is captured here, you should be able to raise that. Because you've got your inputs. You've got them with you. You are issued this document. Make comparisons on A, B, or C, or 1, 2, 3. This is what we agreed. Is it there or is not there? So unless you do that, we cannot speculate that whether it is the old or the new one. But members reserve the right to look at it and make sure that whatever you had agreed is captured. If it is not captured, raise it up.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Probably if the mover of the motion is replying to some of the concerns raised, he might be having the opportunity to clear whether what I'm saying has been addressed or not. But notwithstanding, I think it is good to clean ourselves. But cleanliness has to begin from home. Before we clean outside, we should begin cleaning our own self. But remember, Section 108 of the Constitution states that the National Assembly may have their own proceedings, may have a document that may help them to guide their own proceedings. So this is not something that is unique or something that has never happened in the Parliament, although we've never had a code of conduct or so, but there is a document that has been controlling us as members and also our proceedings, which is the National Assembly Standing Orders. Before people may go outside and misquote us and say that we have never been controlling ourselves. We have had our National Assembly Standing Orders, and this has been controlling us. I think that is very important for us to put on records. The code of conduct, if given to the committee, that is the ethics committee, I think this will help them to also address certain situations, certain issues that might arise and fall within their remits. But also one thing that I will advise them is that they shouldn't be biased in implementing this code of conduct. They shouldn't be biased in addressing certain issues that are given to them. Because in our country here, xamuñ ku tooñ ku fayu lañ xam. So that is very important, because whatever we are doing here, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. For me, I will not allow anybody to address me anyhow you feel like and you set free because of a favoritism that you get from a particular committee. I will never allow that. With those simple remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will also join my colleagues in thanking the Office of the Clerk and your own office in coming up with this idea and make it a document. Honorable Speaker, some of us were serving institutions before, and in those institutions, there were laid down rules and regulations which were followed. Failure to do that, of course, you will, of course, face punishment. This is why it is important for any institution to have sanity and togetherness as well as standards. They must have code of conduct. Code of conduct is there to regulate the behavior of the workers. I myself, I believe this thing has been long overdue. It's have been here since. But like the saying goes, it is never too late to do the right thing at the right time. Now is the time to come up with this wonderful document. It will regulate the behavior of National Assembly members, both here and outside. It will also help us, because sometimes you may be invited to a naming ceremony when the parliament is on. The person who invited you might not understand that, no, of course, that there are no rules and regulations that governs you in the parliament. But the coming up with this document, each and every Gambian will be aware of it today. This will send a strong signal to them that your parliamentarians are out there to work. If parliament is on, they must attend parliamentary business. So I'll join my colleagues, like I said before, in thanking those people who happen to be the masterminders of this document. I thank you very much. This is been long overdue. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Badibu. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And I would like to thank the Vice Chair of the Privilege and Ethics Committee and the Office of the Clerk for making this great job. I'll first of all try to thank the 6th legislature for bringing this code of conduct, because many legislators have passed here without this code of conduct. We try a lot. We should congratulate ourselves. Honestly, if we are a lawmaker, we need to be honest. And Honorable Speaker, one need to be fair. We cannot be lawmakers for Gambians and forget ourselves. Though we have a book here, which is like standing order, which controls us, but this code of conduct also is very important. As honorable members, sometimes I normally see other honorable members will even send a message at the 6th Legislative Forum that table office, take note, I am out, or I'm attending a funeral. After arriving that place, you know, those are things that are not good for the honorable members. There are certain honorable members who are always punctual when there is a serious bill for them to come purposely for voting. We cannot serve this nation purposely for voting. This code of conduct is very important. It's not a witch hunting code of conduct. It's for us to serve as responsible, honorable members. And though we are trying our level best, but the Office of the Clerk, the Privilege and Ethics Committee, the CPA, wish us to work harder than what we are doing. Honorable Speaker, I would definitely want to thank one woman who she is among us. I definitely don't know her name, but this woman is punctual. Wherever the honorable members are there, she's always there. She saw us how she loved the Gambia. She's here, present here. I want to thank her, though I don't know her name. But I really appreciate her job. She's over there. What is her name? I appreciate her job. Honorable Speaker, I have a question here at lateness, where there's a member who attends a sitting 30 minutes or more after the beginning or reception of that sitting, without notifying the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, or Majority Leader or Minority Leader, for 3 times during a session, shall forgo a day's sittings allowance. I am confused here because I know that our sittings allowance are not paid daily. So please, the mover of the motion, can you help me? And I know that whether these things will be also used to the Speaker himself, because I was here more than 2 hours while waiting for the Speaker. So if it is a law, it should be for all of us. If at all, if the Speaker is late, his 1 day sitting must be deducted. Thank you so much.
I don't understand the honorable member. What are you talking about, the Speaker? I was discussing here, but I heard the Speaker is late.
Speaker.
Pardon? Can I? Yes? Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I'm just asking a question here.
What she's saying,
honorable member for Latrikunda.
What she's saying is, if the honorable Speaker, she was here for 2 hours, honorable Speaker was not in. So what she's saying in essence is, if honorable Speaker is also late, will you be deducted? I think I'm right, my wife. Thank you.
In fact, that statement is not correct. I was here before her, in fact. I don't come to chambers until I am called to say that we have these things. But I am always on time. I am never somebody who comes late.
Then, Honorable Speaker, I withdraw such a question.
I understand. What I'm trying to say is, I had the Speaker, I mean, we should avoid making those statements, personalizing statements. I was here on time. I don't come in until the Office of the Clerk advises that we have a quorum and I come in. Please. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet. I now invite the Honorable Member for Basse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have to join my colleagues to thank the Office of the Speaker, the Office of the Clerk, the Ethics and Privilege Committee, and their partners, that is the International IDEA and the CPA, for coming up with this laudable document. Honorable Speaker, I have to also join my colleagues who alluded before that this document is very timely in a sense it has to deal with our high standards of integrity and ethical behaviors, including workplaces behaviors, consistent with our important public interest rules as elected representative of our people. Honorable Speaker, the physical evidence of an individual is important. People have served in high esteem offices, and yet they don't have that respect within the public. It's because of the way and manner they conducted themselves and their representative within the public. And there is life after politics. So we need to comport in our workplaces, outside workplaces, as honorable members, as citizens and ambassadors of this country. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you can see these laws we make here today, it is here to guide us. And Gambians or people are fond of, when laws are made, or there is no law, they advocate for the laws, and when the laws are made, and now it is time to implement those laws, when you implement, they start to take it as political or political witch hunt. Please, honorable members, this document was before us to scrutinize. We did our scrutiny, and it is here today before us to validate it. Please, I'm appealing, if any member is found wanting based on this code of conduct, let's accept it and not to take it as political witch hunting. And I'm appealing to members, it's important for us to build our integrity, because nobody will build an integrity for you. And when you build your good integrity, it is here to stay. And it is here to reflect even in your family. So I'm appealing to all members, please, when this document is validated, let's try our level best to uphold it. And not even without this document. It is incumbent on us to comport ourselves, to have a good integrity and respect ourselves. And I know we have that integrity, good integrity among us. It's just, this document is just a reminder and a guideline for us to work with. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Basse. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And then let me thank the Office of the Clerk for making history. For me, I'm going to differ a little bit with your contribution, because I got a little bit when I hear people saying it's overdue, it's timely. It means we have a receipt of either we don't understand what public office is, because immediately you have voted to public office to lead people, I think you have already been given code of conduct, because it is about your attitude and behavior. It is very unfortunate to see people misbehave, that now we have to wait for a legal document to come, that is a written document, to start saying it's overdue. Which means now we'll be referring ourselves to this legal document to guide us. And then I'm going to just tell you one thing, attitude don't hide. This is why the implementation of laws in this country is always a problem, because our attitudes differ from what we say we are. And we will never move forward. The day you are selected to lead people, you have to ask yourself why among the lot. Why are you selected to lead the people? This is why sometimes when I contribute, I always tell people, putting people in leadership positions who are supposed not to be there, because they don't understand the whole situation of what they're supposed to do or what we should expect from them. The National Assembly has its cause and values, which is about integrity, accountability, fairness, openness. How can you exercise these things if you don't have code of conduct within you? Let's ask ourselves. Some will even continue to become late because that's their attitude. Nothing is going to change. This is why we keep on blaming that we have laws, but we act as if there are no laws, because our attitudes remain the same, unless we change our attitudes. I never wanted to say anything, but I know we are making another document, whether we should be wait, because laws are meant to deter us from doing bad things. I think for the locals there, maybe they will not understand. We can make laws for them. The National Assembly, the clerk has made history of bringing a legal document, means a formal one, which is now written. I can raise up my hand. Any day you see me, I'm coming late. If you ask me, I'll give you a reason. And I don't even come late, whether committees or what. And I make sure whenever I'm arguing, it's guided by my code of conduct. I say, this is how I am trained. We don't have to wait to say it's overdue, it's timely. Means we were just misbehaving because we had no legal document to control us. That's the truth.
Honorable, you are not responding to people. Please, just go ahead.
So we already have our cause and values. That is accountability, openness. And I always say, how do we define leadership? Because if you lead people, you are always a listener and a learner. Because you have to listen to what people are complaining about. You have to learn who you are leading, who you are working with. Because you want to achieve something. So if you yourself don't have proper attitude, bad manners, how is it possible that you're going to implement those things? We have problem in implementation of laws because our attitudes are still remaining constant. We are not moving with time. We are not even changing. This is why every law here, we operate like if there are no laws. And we start blaming the leadership. Anytime they turn against us, we start blaming their dictators. They have to dictate our minds because our attitudes still remain the same. We are not positive. We are negative. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol. I now invite the Honorable nominated member, Keba Lang Fofana.
Honorable Speaker, before going further, check your time, please, for 1 hour 30 minutes.
I have this floor, Honorable Speaker.
I start debating, seconded the motion, 7 minutes to 12. Now check your time.
I'm not understanding you, Honorable Member. The time?
I start my debate 7 minutes to 12.
It's not you who is timing yourself. Your time out because your timing has started. It's already, you are being timed. I've got 30 minutes. Honorable Keba Lang, can you please take your 5 or more minutes now, please? You know, the time we started the motion, 7 minutes to 12. Anybody who says that is not correct. The mover of the motion started at 12:24. The debate. So how can people talk about some minutes to 12? Honorable Member, please, can you take your floor?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I promise to be brief. I will start by acknowledging the efforts of the Parliament and bringing forth this document, which in essence is providing some regulations with regards to the constitutional provisions and also the standing orders which really guide the behavior of members in Parliament. Having said that, I will try to align myself with what Honorable Tumani said. And in doing so, I would like to guide the House or refer the House to page 1 of the standing orders itself under the purpose of the Code of Conduct. If you look at the purpose, 6A, it says, to provide clear guidance for members of the National Assembly on the standards of conduct required of them in their parliamentary duties under the Constitution and the standing orders. Which means the document before us is nothing new. We were guided under Section 112 of the Constitution and also Section 130 of the standing orders as to how do we comport ourselves. Does it come with punitive measures? No. And the punitive measures is what the Code of Conduct is adding. So I think it will be a misinformation to say that Parliament was not regulated. Indeed, Parliament was. And as parliamentarians, we should know that the very first day we took that oath of office, We have the responsibility to safeguard the dignity of this house. That is a constitutional provision. We have the responsibility not to improperly enrich ourselves. That's also a constitutional provision. That we have the responsibility to maintain the dignity of this house, both inside and what? Outside. These are all constitutional provisions. And when you look at the code of conduct, it is addressing 3 critical areas. One of which is the issue of absenteeism, lateness, declaration, and what? Registration of what? Interest. And all of these things were implicitly covered by these 2 provisions, either in the Constitution or the standing orders. So what the Code of Conduct is providing is procedures and attaching punitive measures where someone is found what? Wanting. So I think this is a step in the right direction, because now everything has been simplified. If someone is late, what needs to be done? And what is lateness itself is being defined by the Code of Conduct. And this were the shortcomings with regards to what? The Constitution and the standing orders. Honorable Speaker, on the onset I said I was going to be brief, and I will stick to my promise. On that note, I want to really urge all honorable members to do the needful and ensure that we accord the required blessings to this Code of Conduct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominated Member, Keba Lang Fofana. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Equally, mine is going to be very brief. Since we have the opportunity to have this Code of Conduct, which is in line with the international best practice. So I want to thank all the partners and members who did everything humanly possible for us to have this draft, and the level of engagement that have been done behind the scene for us to have this document. Honorable Speaker, I want to emphasize one thing. There are instances whereby we promulgate laws, enforcement becomes a problem. And that is a major problem. And since we are having this thing, once it is approved, it's going to be binding on all of us. Implementing it is very, very key. And in fact, as alluded by previous speakers before me, even whereas we have these things, still that might not really change some attitude of some of us. But if there is enforcement of this regulation, I think that will really help us a lot. So as a parliament, we don't only want to have this thing for the sake of having it, but it has to be enforced to the latter. And I'm appealing both the ethics, the authority, and the office of the clerk to make sure that we implement this thing to latter for us to comply. Because this has shown an important component that we cannot forgo. The most important thing, why are we choosing from our various constituencies? Once that is known, know that we have a moral responsibility. The image of each and every member of this parliament is very key. Your family members, the community, and the electorate, and the country at large. So we are in an institution that we have to maintain the supreme integrity of that particular institution. So as the members. So this is very, very important, and I think it's known politically, is to regulate ourselves, which is key, because I know once we do this thing, the community, people outside there will really applaud us for coming with a regulation that will really guide us, protect our image and the image of the parliament. So I definitely want to urge, Honorable Speaker, it has to be enforced to the latter once it is approved. On that note, I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am
indeed not happy with the code of conduct from the onset, because there were many things that I was not in support of, and we debated them. At the end, or in the beginning, my very worry was the implementation of this. How are they going to implement this? Because what I was looking at is fairness. To be just to all is needed. And as I stand here, I can tell you, one of the very honorable member for Java West, he has always been here, and every day he's always here. Myself, since the session started, there was no day that I was absent in this assembly, since I came into parliament. So, the enforcement of the law is what is needed. We know that, and we firmly understand that there are other people wherein we need to bring laws to control them. But as for members of parliament, that was not to my notice. But with what I have seen, then we can go by this if fairness will be there. I have no objection. My only problem is how will it be implemented? Equality before the law. That is my challenge. And that I want to emphasize and stress on it. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang. Honorable members, we've come to the end of the debate. I now have the honor to call upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and to wind up the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me thank all the members who have participated in the debate or are comfortable and see no need to take part in the debate due to the limited time. I believe all the honorable members positively have reacted to the report, the motion, and then the code of conduct. How and why that happened, I would say, is as a result of the workshop that we had 3 days to validate the code of conduct. And the partner that made that happen, we have to commend that partner, that is the international idea. Honestly, I was not looking forward to an easy ride of the passing of this code of conduct. But that workshop helped us a lot to do the needful. And that's why today everything becomes very simple. On that, I thank the international idea for that support. Honorable members, few honorable members raised concern and questions for clarifications. One is the honorable member, the seconder of the motion from Lower Salem, pertaining to the content of the table that was earlier unsuggested at the workshop and is not reflective as far as the suggestion is concerned. Likewise, the summary of content he referred to. Yes, he is very right. What I will say, that was not the final part of it. Here is what we are expected to finalize the document. Validation is not the end. We can expect changes here. So if changes are done, then after the final version, then we can have the content, table of content as you suggested. I can assure you it will be considered based on the final version that will emanate from this sitting. If that point is cleared, I can move on to the other concern, and that's from the honorable member from Jesua. Regarding the lateness, the starting time is 10 a.m. If you come 30 minutes or more after that, you'll be considered late. In fact, this one is, if you fail to notify the office of the speaker regarding the reason why you are running late. In the absence, the deputy speaker or the majority leader or the minority leader, before we resolve to taking somebody to that account of being late, that is when you fail to do this notification. I think if I'm right. But now the point is, we have a provision in the standing order that the sitting commences at 10 a.m. That means from today, we should strictly adhere to that commencing time. If otherwise change, and we say instead of 10 a.m., the assembly agreed that the commencement time will be 11 a.m. as a result of circumstances that do arise from time to time. Those in the Pan-African Parliament, I think already they are in Midran, but there were some other members, Honorable Jaura here. Their commencing time is 10 a.m. Few minutes to that, about 5 minutes, they'll start ringing the bell. The speaker will be on his way to his seat. Sharp 10, he is seated. Sharp 10, he is seated. It is not for the office of the clerk to wait whether the quorum is there before alerting the speaker to come. The starting time is 10 a.m. All the members should endeavor to be here before 10 a.m. Sharp 10 a.m. the speaker is seated, we start. If for whatever reason.
Honorable mover of the motion, can you further explain in your deliberations? Because we have our own standing orders that we cannot commence business without a quorum. So if at 10 a.m. we have 5 people in the chambers, how would the speaker come in? That's where we have a problem. Can you explain?
Exactly. The speaker has a role to play, we the members have a role to play. I am saying we should be here before 10.
What I'm saying is we should be here before 10, agreed. The speaker coming in at 10. Now, if there are 5 members in the chambers, what happens?
If there are 5 members in the chamber and there is no quorum, the speaker will suspend. And the time be given for the assembly to resume. That's what the standing order dictates.
Honorable, you know, by our own standing orders, if it is 10 o'clock and we say there are 5 people in the chambers, for instance, the speaker would come inside.
Yes.
And then it will be declared to him, somebody will declare that we don't have a quorum. And then I may adjourn for some time or adjourn until another day.
Very well.
But you know, that usually is cumbersome and very frustrating, and it does not depict well of us. That's why we make sure that we have a quorum and then we call in the speaker to come. Because anytime we come in here and then we don't have, I come in at 10 and we don't have a quorum, it's not reflective of us. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry
Honorable Speaker, that was then, but now we are trying to regulate. That was then, we are now trying to regulate. If we are saying the Code of Conduct should pass, we should be prepared to change our attitude towards our sitting.
Can I?
Honorable, okay.
Thank you very much. Move of the motion. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 12, Sub 1, the presence of at least one-half of the members shall be necessary before the commencement of sitting. If there is not a quorum, presence when the Speaker takes the chair at the appointed time, immediately after these prayers, the Speaker shall direct members to be summoned by ringing of the bell for division. And also, if you look at 2, if there is expiration of the 2 minutes, one-half of the members are not present, the Speaker shall defer the commencement to a later time. So if members are not present, you have every right now to defer it to another time. But what he's saying that by 10 o'clock we are supposed to be here. Before 10, we are supposed to be here.
No, can I observe, please?
We were not doing that just because not to create embarrassment for ourselves. That was the reason. All right? But we know if I come in, somebody can even declare that we don't have a quorum, and the chief whip and others will have to go and call people. After a given time, I will have to adjourn for an hour or 10 minutes or teaching or adjourn until the next day. All right, honorable member, you can continue, please.
No, can I observe you, please?
Who is talking?
No, honorable Speaker. Don't make the,
honorable.
No,
we are not on a debate, actually.
No, I'm so wrong.
Honorable, he is making his closing remarks on of your comments. If I want to give members time, somebody else will call, and then we will have to. Please.
No,
please.
It's of late.
Yes, honorable minority.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The honors lie on us, not the Speaker, to meet the starting time. If we are here before 10, of course the Speaker will be alerted there is quorum, and he will come. There will be no embarrassment. If it is only when we are not here before 10, we can have that avenue of lack of quorum that may hold the Speaker not to come. But we are saying that let's endeavor to be here before 10, so that by 10 the Speaker is here, we start. I hope that has addressed the concern of the Honorable Member for Jesua. Honorable Member of Busumbala, victims face frustration before this Code of Conduct. I think this was one of the genuine reasons why we endeavor to have this Code of Conduct, so that those kind of frustrations are no longer faced by what we may call victims. Honorable Member for Sabasanjal, the new version should be printed. Yes, this is the new version. And the final version. That's why before the sitting, that's why if you look at the footnote, it is validated copy. What we had at the workshop was the draft Code of Conduct. So your inputs were added here. If, for whatever reason, you could not see your suggestion that was accepted and agreed that should be amended, it's not reflective, please bring it to our attention. We can amend it, that this was what we agreed, but it's not reflective. It will be considered. Just like myself, I observe one that I want to bring to your attention. I refer you to page 2, 11, paragraph B. This was observed at the workshop. Take any bribe under general rules of conduct. Take any bribe. Are you there? Yes. Take any bribe or permit any connected person to take any bribe for promoting a cause or bill in the assembly or its committee. When we were looking at, we said the word connected person can sound very vague. So connected person, any connected person. So instead, we said we delete the word connected and only have any person. So that connected person was proposed to be deleted, but it was not deleted. So I'll put that, we amend that part and delete the connected person, that word. The word connected be deleted. So like that, if any other person also observed anything that was recommended for amendment was not reflective, we can recommend and then do the necessary. But this is the validated version, and that is the new version. What was recommended and agreed is not reflective. You can propose, and then we look at it.
May I observe you?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Now, like I said, like I mentioned during the validation, if you look at this under clause 12, it's telling you that if you do this act, if you do certain misbehaviors on which is not in line with the rules, this is what will happen to you. But if you look at what you are reading now, there's nothing stating that if somebody take any bribe or permit any connected person to take any bribe for promoting a cause or bill in the assembly or its committee, there is nothing, to be done to that individual. So these are some of the things that I was saying that we need to address them. So what is going to happen to that individual now? So that is why I said these things, we should look at them, look at the clauses here in the chamber and approve them one after the other, so that the consequences will be noted. Since, like as stated by Honorable Nominated Member Kebalang Fofana, that this is the punitive version of what we are calling now the standing orders.
Now, I think it's one thing, to amend and another for people to be making comments. There are a lot of comments that were made. But finally, what we all resolved to that this should be amended is what we are saying. I think what we are talking about is the process to make your complaint. When that complaint is made, the sanctions will be done by the committee, and that is stipulated. There are orders that are very specific in the standing orders or the constitution or even the code, that if you do this, this is the punitive measure. But there are orders that they can recommend, and then that recommendation is supposed to be tabled before the assembly and then acted on. So what we are talking about, that is the sanctions. And there's a provision for that. It doesn't mean every section they will talk about the penalty for that. If you go under the sanctions column, there are provisions that the committee will rely on to act on the complaints that they received. So far, these were the issues that were raised. For Honorable Nominated Fofana, only buttressed that, yes, there were provisions in both the standing orders and the constitution that safeguarded the integrity. However, the punitive measures that were lacking is what this Code of Conduct has addressed that issue. That's quite in line. Honorable Member for Bintang was not happy, but now is only concerned about the implementation. Otherwise, he has no objection. How do we implement it? Whether it will be true and fair. I think that lies with the committee. And that's a challenge to the committee. We have the code of conduct. How do we implement it? Partly, we'll receive complaints and we'll look into them. Sometimes we will decide. Sometimes we refer to the General Assembly. Then the implementation also lies on the General Assembly as well. And certain rules that are stipulated that all the members should observe, generally, we are all responsible to make sure we observe that. So that means we are all responsible in the implementation of this code of conduct. With that collective measure, I believe we can do it. Honorable Speaker, earlier on in the day, a member submitted to me that will be absent or will leave for a genuine cause. And he made this proposal, if can be added to the text. As part of the preamble, we reads, so that the 6th legislature can be recognized. And we reads, the members of the 6th legislature of the Republic of the Gambia resolved on the 24th day of June 2024 to consolidate the concern and efforts of the earlier Parliament of the Republic of the Gambia to formally codify the rules of ethics and code of conduct for members of Parliament of the Republic of the Gambia. Consequently, the Ethics and Privileges Committee have established and submit a draft code of conduct for the consideration of the House. This code is the outcome of the work of the committee and the members. This is what is proposing to be part of the preamble. I said this is what he is proposing to be part of the preamble. And that's for the consideration of the members. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I want to seize this opportunity.
Conclude, Honorable Member. Can you please move that connected in clause 11B be deleted?
Part of,
Can you move a motion?
Yeah, he's proposing that the amendment I proposed earlier on 11B, the word connected, be deleted. I move that the word connected be deleted under 11B.
Any seconder? Yes, majority.
Yes, I second the motion.
Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that under clause 11B, the word connected before person, connected, should be deleted. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So that connected is.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I want to take the opportunity once more to thank the CPA for partnering with the National Assembly. It could be recalled way back in 2022 when we came in, we endeavored to have the code of conduct through the legal department. The legal department saw the need to engage the CPA. They are our partners, and then in the process of the standing orders, they contributed. And that's why they saw that need to invite the CPA. And CPA accepted the invitation. They came in as consultants. In the consultation, they first reached the office of the majority leader and the minority leader. We gave them our input that laid the foundation, and then the committee added its inputs. And finally, the general members also, we added our input at the auditorium. Then one would say, this is the work of the National Assembly of the Gambia. It is not a foreign idea. It is our own work. It emanated from all of us. And I thank you all for your participation and your contribution. I thank the Office of the Clerk for facilitating the process, and likewise the Office of the Speaker for the support given, the international idea for the support, and then the CPA. On that note, I thank you all.
All right, can we, honorable member for Lower, before I put the question, Lower Salu.
Yes, on his last submission that somebody wrote, putting 6 legislators on the code of conduct. Parliament comes and go, and Parliament is always a Parliament. This standing order, it was draft during 6 legislatures and it's not there. So Parliament is Parliament. We are not going to put it there.
Yes, honorable nominated member Keba.
Honorable Speaker, I think I really concur with Honorable Lower Salum. Even though it will be part of our legacy, but it will be unfair to the parliaments, the legislatures before us, and the legislatures that will come after us, if at all we should take the credit. This is the work of the National Assembly, and the extra layers he is proposing, or that was proposed in the preamble, should be deleted.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to object that proposal. Honorable Speaker, we have many important documents that pass through this Parliament, and those are good legacies for the National Assembly. So I don't think writing 6 legislatures on this document is a good legacy, but it's something that we are claiming. You know, let's leave the credit for the Parliament. Any Parliament that comes in is for Parliament. We have a Constitution, 1997 Constitution. Why didn't they write the legislature that passed the 1997 Constitution? So it's Parliament, so let's leave it.
Honorable members, it will seem as the proposal to add that preface to the whole thing is not accepted. Yes, so I think we just, the honorable mover of the motion said it clearly that he is just to share it with you, whether you accept or you don't accept. And it looks like all the comments coming in are not accepting it. So we just put it aside.
But that comment is just 4 out of 58 members.
Is that
how is it binding on others who didn't speak?
Honorable Speaker.
Member for Olundum, I want to hear you.
What I'm trying to say is, how is their opinion binding on us? Because it's only 4 or 5 people who spoke. Some of us want it to be our legacy. Some of us want to look back and see this as our legacy. So I think before you conclude to say it is not accepted, you hear from some of us. Because for me,
you know, honorable member, your greatest problem is you don't listen well.
No, I listen to you very well.
I said, the proposal was done by honorable mover of the motion to put before you whether you will accept or reject. From what I have heard so far, it looks like people are not in acceptance of it. I said, is that so? People said yes, and you took the floor. Yeah, then say that. But I did not say. That was no indication. I said,
Speaker,
and you could have spoken at the time.
Speaker,
honorable members, we are not going to debate this.
Speaker,
we are not debating. Yes, my majority.
No, what I'm saying, the move of the motion did not formally. He's just by notifying us. But does he really propose that to be added? And by look of things, I don't think it's necessary because the years that is captured, anybody can cross-reference that it happened this time. So there is no need for you to put the legislature. Hence, it carries years. That 2024, we know who we are there. Thank you.
And you are perfectly right, Honorable Majority Leader. In his address, he made mention that whether this could be, and you know, I asked him to put that proposal into a motion. If this had been accepted, we will ask him to put it into a motion, so it will be put in. So I think we've passed that thing now. Honorable members, let me thank all of you. But let me just first put the question. Be resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the Code of Conduct for National Assembly members of the Gambia. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want to salute you people and raise my cap for you. The most difficult thing in life is self-regulation. institutions that are regulated, the regulation is prepared by a board or a group of persons for everybody. So whether you like it or you don't like it, it regulates you. But for this regulation to pass, it means all those being regulated must accept it. And you have all accepted it. That's unique. That tells a lot of who you are and what you intend to do. I am telling you, it's unique. Whether people like it or not, self-regulation is difficult. The other thing I want to say, I want to at least align myself with somewhat what Member Skeba or nominated member said. It doesn't necessarily mean that this code of conduct should put us in place. Are we saying that without this regulation, we would not put ourselves in place? It should help us put ourselves in place. But what I want us to do is, let's please make sure, as much as possible, we adhere to the code of conduct. The other thing that members raised is the effective implementation and, of course, fairness. This cannot be effectively implemented without the full cooperation of the entire members. We must all cooperate to ensure that because it's our integrity at stake. And we should not allow a friend or a brother, a party mate to at least put us, all of the rest of the people in this report. So what we should do is, let's advise each other, because it's not be out for witch hunting. We must allow human errors, we must understand situations. But deliberate things that will not go well with who we are and what we stand for, we should all go against it. Even if the person is your party mate, or if the person is your friend, or if the person is your region mate. So I think that's clear. We should all come together. But we should not use it as a witch hunt, believing that no human being is perfect. But honestly, I salute you, and it will be on record. Honorable members, I now put the question. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 25th June 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Tuesday, 25th of June 2024 at 10 a.m. prompt.